what's coming up this upcoming month. And there's some real concerns when it comes to what we're getting ready to see after this holiday that just came up. Listen, we have people going out shopping right now. We have people going on vacations, taking airline tickets. A lot of money not being spent on what we as truckload carriers want to see. They're spending money on goods and services, not necessarily on truckloads. Coming up this next 6 weeks, through the month of June, after the first 2 weeks of July, some issues I see are going to be this. When you look at some of the metrics that we've been talking about, the fuel and the contracted rates, those two alone. Contracted rates, as we've seen 6 months ago, we're near that $3 a mark. The shippers, they have gone in and renegotiated, done their part to the rates, and the contracted rates today are at $2.75. It's a 25-cent drop in rates. Unfortunately, we've seen a 27-cent increase in fuel. My worry coming up is the added pressure to the shipper. From the stockholders, from the executive level, demanding a reduction in price. How can you be spending the same money this year that we spent 6 months ago when all I hear about are rates being reduced? It's going to be a tough moment right now because that fuel has offset any savings they've made on that contracted rate. Now they're going to go back, and odds are they're going to go back, and some are going to cave in maybe to that pressure, go out and ask for new rates. Think about this. Trailers are up 50 to 60%. Tractors are up 10 to 15%. We've seen an increase in fuel alone. We've seen an increase in driver payroll, an increase in maintenance. It's going to be a tough time right now for those 50 and smaller carriers, as they may have just bought new equipment last year. For the large shippers, do they hold on to their rates? Do they stick to the rates that they've got to keep with all of the added costs that come with it? Boy, that's going to be tough. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over this next 6 weeks. BCB Live, the safest station, is coming up next. Good morning. Welcome to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. We have rough roads ahead. Drive safe, Dave. Run!
Caution, slow down. Make sure you drive careful. Make sure you be careful, and make sure you understand what it means when they say rough roads ahead.
What does it mean? It means like there's some gangs up there. Hey, it's rough up there,
could
folks.
Could be
careful.
Gang, could be work gangs, could be chain gangs out there on the road working. But I'll tell you, usually rough roads mean you can't grip the road very well. When the tires are bouncing, they don't hold the traction to the road. There's no friction created. They're bouncing around, so they don't turn. You don't turn as well. You don't stop as well. You don't have good traction. Just slow down. Rough road ahead. Be careful and don't damage the equipment.
You think there were any rough roads a couple weeks ago in Dallas when we had that tractor trailer full of eggs, Drive Safe Dave, 35,000 pounds of eggs run into a bridge. And it wasn't the bridge, it was the pillar it ran into. Perhaps rough roads?
Yeah, I wouldn't actually call those rough roads. I'd call those slippery when wet roads. But eggs everywhere. What a mess. And it was hot. Some of them were frying out there on the concrete. Some of them were cooking out there on that Texas asphalt, that blacktop.
That was a mess out there. Producer, we got a video there, I think, or a picture of the eggs. There were eggs all over that place, Drive Safe Dave. I mean, yeah, they were definitely scrambled right there, poached perhaps. Yeah. But you know what? It was a mess. And Dave, when that gets on the roadway, that shuts the roadway down for a little bit because that's pretty slippery as well.
Yeah, it's Of course it's slippery, it's eggs. But, you know, and usually what comes along with them is crates and boxes and all that other stuff. But I'm telling you, does the smell linger the next day or the day
after?
after?
A worse smell than rotten eggs, right?
Yeah, I get you.
And you're going to see it right here. Look at this, Drive Safe Dave. That's a stinking mess.
Oh, yeah.
That's a rough road. Now it's a slippery road, and it's an egg road. You just been egged, Dave.
That's
truly is. That's insane right there. But, you know, when it comes to the driving on rough roads, drive safe on any road, listen, we talk about this. You know, we don't know what happened on that. Was there fatigue? Was there, you know, did somebody cut him or her off? We don't know any of that right now. But here's what we do know is that anytime you're involved in an accident at all, any kind of accident, what you will tend to hear and what we'll always say is, was it worth it? Could I have avoided that accident, Dave? Sometimes you can get into an accident and it's not your fault. The big question, I think, always goes back and lingers is, well, could you have avoided it?
Yeah, you know, and I say that really when we talk about it and as we continue to discuss safety and understanding what is going on, when you see warning signs like this, or you see any type of change in the road pattern out there on the road, it's necessary to slow down and reevaluate your speed, reevaluate your direction of travel, reevaluate where you are positioned on the roadway with the vehicles around you. You know, you don't want to be too close. You want to maybe back away, even though you just want to get away from them, move into an open lane out of the way, especially so you can get a great big picture. But we continue to talk about it. And I think really that the neat thing about these warning signs is they are there to make it a little bit easier for you to make great decisions out there on the road as it comes ahead.
Yeah, it's there. They'll warn you of construction crews as well, right? And these are what we've got to look out for. Listen, there's a lot of construction. It's summertime. We tend as a country to do more work in the summertime on the roads than in the wintertime.
Daylight hours are longer.
A lot longer, and it's a little warmer out there as well. You know, that's always a good thing. So just look out for them. Remember, when you go through a construction zone, you're going through their work zone.
Absolutely.
So speaking of zones, the safety zone, highway through the danger zone. That's what it is. Danger zone. Producer said he went and watched a little Top Gun yesterday. New Top Gun. Talk to me, Maverick.
Yeah, I actually think that's probably the best movie I've seen in the last 3 or 4 years. So.
Yeah. When I came in, he said best movie ever. I think was
well,
what. You did say, did you not say when I walk in, he said best movie I've ever seen.
I was still riding the high off of watching the movie last night. So.
Best movie.
You know, it was a good movie. I mean, it was a very good movie. I mean, but remember, this is like coming off of COVID too.
Yeah.
Our expectations are a little low right now. Anything we could see, it was loud, it was fast, it was good. I thought it was. Have you seen the original one?
Oh yeah, I actually watched it again the other night just so I could kind of refresh myself. But
did you catch the penny remark?
From the first movie?
On the second movie, on the one you just saw when he was when Penny was named, when they brought Penny. Did you remember who she was?
No, was she in the first movie?
She was the one that he goes. That's when he was getting in trouble the first time, and he goes, "Oh, the Admiral's daughter, Penny."
Oh,
that was her.
Gotcha. Okay.
I didn't catch that. My wife did catch that. I was like,
who
was she in the first movie? Because I didn't remember seeing her. But that was Penny, the Admiral's daughter, that was named. And I guess kudos to them for. I mean,
going
that's
back
how
and
desperate
finding those hidden characters.
The actors were actually flying the planes in some of those snes. They actually went out.
Come on.
I read that online. They said they.
Was it on Facebook? If it was on Facebook, it's probably true. Or Twitter. Now, you know what? You can't trust Twitter anymore. Elon's letting fake news go on there. Fake profiles
fake
and
news.
all that. Hey, but no. So yeah, definitely good stuff. Drive Safe Dave. We have an interview coming up. It's a returning guest. Before we get to Amy, though, what's the deal? I know. I feel like you put this story in going to the aliens.
I didn't put this story in. I saw this story that they were talking about. But you know what? I'm kind of. They talking about there's a many as what 40,000.
I mean, it could host. Well, it could not as well. It could host 0.
But they're saying on the average, if they'd use mathematical calculations and they're coming up with a probability theory, which is that they're the best science. They're NASA. I mean, it's not like they
I'm
don't
going-
know what they're doing
I'm
over
going.
there.
There's no life out there. There's no such thing as,
a
as
pessimist,
UFOs.
sir.
None of that.
No, pessimist. I get it. I get it. You haven't seen it. You haven't touched it, so you don't believe in it. I get it. Some of us have faith in things unseen. Some of us truly believe in.
In the Bible, it says there's only people here.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying there's an opportunity. It doesn't actually say he didn't do it anywhere else. It didn't say, like, he didn't put
So, do you believe in UFOs, and do you believe in ET, extra?
I believe there's life on other planets, yes. Out
Dave,
there.
just answer the
what
question.
a lot of waste.
Do you believe in aliens? You can answer the question, yes or no.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, I do believe in aliens.
Gotcha. And what makes you believe that?
Just
Because you read it just now?
No, I just think that it's so vast. The universe is so big, so vast. I think that life has found a way to open up somewhere else in the world.
Oh my
in the
God,
universe.
you sound like what's a dinosaur movie? It's
I know you don't believe in those either, right? You don't believe in
Jurassic
dinosaurs
Park.
either.
You
Doesn't
sound
even
like
think they were
Jurassic Park, where
dinosaurs.
they're all females. Where there's a will that can make it happen. They can
No, I'm
create.
just saying.
I hear you, Jurassic Park guy. You know what? The problem is you and the other guy that orders that scientific magazine. What's your magazine of choice?
Scientific American. I've ordered it forever. I've had that magazine forever. Longest running magazine in the United
only
States.
because you're the only you keep ordering. They're like, "Dadgummit, I got to print another issue out for Drive Save Dave." We're coming back with some more BCB Live in just a minute.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility ProWear. Utility ProWear manufactures high-quality, ANSI-certified, high-visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility ProWear affords the wearer durable clothing with a great fit to afford the highest degree of safety. Get your high-visibility apparel by going to utilityproware.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount. All right, and welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Drive Safe, Dave, Sir Rick here, and we get a rare opportunity to have Amy back on again. Amy Russa from the founder of the Safety Rack. How are you doing, Amy?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. How are you?
We are doing fantastic. It's so nice to see you back on the show. You got a lot of new news for us, right? You got a lot of stuff you want to talk to us about, right?
I do, but first I have to say congratulations. I saw that the Women in Trucking Association named you guys as one of the best employers for women in trucking. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, and thankful.
Yeah.
You know, we're thankful that we have some women in here that are just absolutely amazing,
Yeah.
folks. You know, blessed to have what we have here at this company
True
to
leaders.
make things happen. True leaders, and the only ones that get things done.
Well, wait a second.
It's a fact.
Well, it is. It's a fact. You can count on it.
Yeah, but we at least some of the men get to take some of the credit, even though we don't get any of the work
No,
done.
we're
we get
good
to-
at taking credit. You know how that is.
Small credit.
No, we will take it, earned or not. We will take it. I get it, Jurassic. I love the background. Again, a big fan of all the
Thank
colors
you.
you have there. Wow, that's just, you know, that is real, Drive Safe Dave. That is a woman after my own heart right there.
Yeah, I know. I got you. And you know what? We're going to get you some more PPE coming up. But, hey, Amy, so let's see. So since the last time you spoke, you are the co-founder of the Iowa Women in Safety. And since today kicks off National Safety Month, how is it going? How's your organization doing?
We're doing good. We have planning going for the October conference in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We have a good lineup of both safety and professional development topics ready to go. And I'm really excited about it. I think this year will be our 4th year and we'll have a larger turnout. So
What are some of those things that y'all are going to have? Well, like specifically.
So on the safety side, for the safety professionals, we are going to have topics about like how to become a better presentation speaker. We have topics on workers' comp. We have a couple of lawyers coming in for that. We also have OSHA coming in to talk. And then on the professional development side, we have people coming in to talk about how to job hunt or ask for that raise that you might not feel comfortable asking for a raise. And then just general empowerment type topics, how to become a better leader.
Wow, that sounds exciting, and that's going to be in, you said in September?
October 20th.
October. I'm sorry.
And drive safe. He's a guy that never has a problem asking for a raise. You know, he's just always, you know what? Just put a cam film on him. He'll have no problem. Hey, guys, can I get a raise?
You know, if it fits, if the shoe fits.
Hey, so the last time you were on, it was we were celebrating women in trucking or women in trucking history and logistics and all that. Since then, you've gone out and you've founded your own company as well, right?
Yeah, don't know what I was thinking other than just needing to do it. I had a lot of people pushing back on me to do it. And so I took the dive and I started the Safety Rack. So currently that is a YouTube channel where I review women's PPE garments. Started it because I hear a lot of women across all the trades say, I can't find PPE that fits me. And I know I can find it because I know a lot of these vendors and I've been sourcing it for myself. So it just made sense for me to start the YouTube channel, start doing the product reviews. But then from there, it became well, are you going to have a storefront? Are you going to have a website? And so next month, the Safety Rack will be launching into a full-blown website where I will share all those resources, where if you're a woman and you need workwear or high-vis, you can come find it there instead of Googling and spending all your time trying to narrow down where this stuff is located.
Why is it, and I know we've talked about this before, but I'd like you to go over it again for everybody. Why is it important that women have their source of their own PPE?
I think you become a walking entanglement. So I've been on job sites where I've been handed a men's vest or a unisex vest, which is really just a men's vest. And I get caught on things or it doesn't fit properly. And then that actually becomes a hazard, both safety-wise and psychologically. If I'm not fitting in my clothes properly, I'm going to be focused on that all day. And it's going to get to me at the end of the day. Typically, manufacturers have said there's not a market for it. But what manufacturers forget is there's 70 plus trades out there and over 8.5 million women that need proper PPE. And there are really good companies out there like Utility Pro who makes a good line of product for women, but there's not enough of them. And so what I've sourced over the last few months is a lot of smaller companies that were women in trades that started making their own products as well. And I want to be able to highlight that, get it out there to the women that need it, and let them choose what product they feel is best for them on the job site.
You know, you talk about it, and not only is it's interesting and necessary that it fit well, but I really see that they're starting to not only make the garments be safe and everything, but appealing, right? I mean, actually, a little bit more, you know, something that you want to put on, you know, that you go in because it fits. Not only does it fit you well, but it looks good on you. And we all want to wear clothes that look good on us. I mean, do you find that more and more as they do these lines?
I am now seeing a lot more style, a lot more color being involved, different fits, more pockets for us because we typically have never gotten pockets. Don't know why. But it's not great at the end of the day for me to carry everything in my hands on a job site either because now I'm an additional hazard. So you're going to see a lot more styles coming out. I will be highlighting them as I find them, as I buy them, as I source them, and I get them out on the YouTube channel or the Instagram channel.
Hey, who are some of the, aside from Utility Pro Wear, who are some of the other people that make that clothing that really does fit well for the women?
So you have brands like Radiant, Utility Pro, of course, Xena Footwear, Juno Jones. You have CoverGirls. I think I'm saying that one right. They make FR coveralls. You have Bulwark. You have VF Apparel. And then I'm currently sourcing a bunch of workwear from overseas, like Eve Workwear, which makes really good high quality pants like Dovetail does, and then TrueWorks also. So the list goes on, and those are just the ones I have off the top of my head that you can also see behind me. And this is just a small sample size. If you actually saw what was under my feet right now, you'd have a heart attack like my husband. Because every day he comes home from work, there's more boxes And he's like, now what are you getting?
You know, as we look at it and as we talk about this stuff, it seems like there's a lot of innovation that comes along when they start to dive into different, you know, the PPE for different people. It seems like they come up with different ideas, different, you know, things that are necessary and doing certain things for certain areas of the industry, right? Not everybody has the same exact need, not just high visibility, but other things. Are any of those things you might want to highlight or talk about in the innovation area?
So you're seeing more design for women's protection with fall protection. Different harnesses. I know 3M was the first one to come out with the harness that went across in an X because it fit a woman more comfortably in the chest area. We have to have this conversation. Women have different sizes in the chest. We need to have the harness fit differently. Shoes, you're going to see a difference in shoes now. My Xena shoes that I wear to work, they actually have a heel on it, but it's a steel toed. She also makes a rider's boot that's really neat to wear. So you see that style and form and functionality get put in. One of the things that I'm starting to see more of in the industry is gloves that are a smaller fit for women. Traditionally, even if you look at, I think, the OSHA top 10, you're going to see a lot of hand injuries, glove injuries out there. And so you're going to have brands like Ironclad that make smaller gloves that actually help our fingers in our sizes. So obviously, my hand's smaller than your guys' hand, but it also comes down to the form on the finger, right? The thickness, the width, the length. That is all important for us to be able to do our job and do it safely.
Amy, you're going to be, I understand, you're going to join us at least for a show, maybe longer, in Iowa at the I-80 Truckers Jamboree. Will you be, I just got to tell you this because the independent contractors, the truck drivers are going to be there. Are you going to bring some of that gear as well to kind of show off, to share with some of the women that are there?
I am. I will be wearing gear too. I will be bringing my Juno Jones, which I think women in trucking will absolutely love. But also, the Safety Rack will be coming out to do a series called The Safety Rack Presents Women in Trucking. So if you're a woman at the Jamboree, am I saying it right? Jubilee, at I-80 Truck Stop, I will be out there. If you'd like to film a segment with me and be interviewed, I will feature you on my YouTube page and my Instagram page. We'll be talking about how you got into trucking as a woman, the benefits of it, and how women that might be considering it should consider it. So I'll be out there all day, probably both Thursday and Friday, filming that content.
You know, I tell you what's exciting more than anything is that you're changing the industry in the PPE by helping to bring to light the needs and also the desires of the consumer. I mean, I see, when you say 8 million people out there, I see 8 million possible buyers. And when you do that, you create a genuine need, and that people need to turn their head and take focus and understand how important it is these needs are to get done in the industry. And I appreciate what you do in leading this charge and holding the banner and running in and saying, hey, look, make a difference, make a change that's needed for this, not only for the safety, but you're going to better these products for all of us. Yeah. Every single person out there, whether they're man, woman, it doesn't matter. You're going to make them better because they're going to focus on this garment. Because before they were just the utilitarian, throw it on and it's shiny. Oh, that solves all the problems. Well, you know what? I like the idea that you're bringing fashion to safety.
Amy, when you're 18 or 19 years old, let's just go back a couple of years. Did you think that, you know what, one day I'm gonna be this PPE guru. I'm gonna have boxes of stuff behind me, clothes lined up on racks behind me. Was that there at 21, or when did that dream really come into play?
Well, 21 was almost 20 years ago, so it's a lot longer than you just
I
stated.
said a couple years. You know what? You would never
said
know.
A couple.
You would never know.
Put a zero on it.
I think you're just being sweet, so I bring you some sweet corn from Iowa next month. You know, I got into safety because I actually watched my dad, who was a trucker for over, I think, 30 years, talk about road safety when he was part of, I think, ABAID of Iowa. And he did motorcycle riders classes for safety. And I got to see that impact very early on. And I was just like, maybe safety's where I need to be. Fell into it. But I never thought it would get to this point. It got to this point because I was frustrated with the industry. I was frustrated with not being able to find the product that I needed. And it's not fair to the next generation to have to be in the same spot that I'm in. So that's what I'm trying to resolve. And I think the feedback I've gotten is very positive, and because of that, it makes me get fired up to continue doing this and to continue to drive the message home to everybody.
So let's talk about these goals. I know you've got it's coming out next month. What are some of your big, I know we've got some short-term goals this month and next month, but what are the big long-term goals you've got here over the next couple of years?
To grow the network, to merge all these trades into the website to be a resource, not just from the PPE standpoint, but also the psychosocial hazards for women that they face in trades.
Wow.
And to use my platform to give them a voice to the issues that they are facing so that employers and people that want to be their advocate on the job site have those resources too to advocate for them and to stand up and say, some things aren't right, we need to do better, we need to increase this, or we need to get more women in, but we don't know how. I want the website to be able to help people resolve those issues at the end of the day. So that's the long-term goal. Short-term goal is just to get the website up and running right now and to get the message out there that this is out there. I was on TikTok the other day, and I see all these videos of women complaining that they can't find any workwear, and I'm in the comments section going, no, I'm here, I'm doing this. So it's just a matter of getting all the dots connected short-term and getting it all funneled to the channel.
Yeah. Amy, do you have a TikTok channel yourself?
I do. It's just, I think it's just my name, Amy Rusa.
All right.
Right now.
Amy, we're up to one video right now, just so you know. BCB Live, we posted our first one, and I don't know, we're like, I give our folks here a little grief on. I feel like we're one-hit wonders, We did our one hit, now we're done. But look for more of ours coming on. Amy, we'll look for you on yours, and we want to make sure, through social media, through what we do on BCB Live, that we're helping you to share your story, to help create success in what you're doing, because it is so critical that all of us, men and women, are going out there and having clothes that fit, because you're absolutely right. When you're out there with clothing that's loose and it doesn't quite fit you, number one, mentally you're not there. You're not able to focus. And number two, you face dangers of getting caught on something. And I just think that we can't impress upon what you're saying enough. What you're doing is critical. We're there to help push it along. You know what? We are so thankful for all that you do. Thankful for what you do for the industry. And you know what? Kudos to you for creating a company, for creating something to fix an issue, not just going out there and marching around Washington and saying we need better clothing, but to open up your own business and doing something about it. I love the entrepreneurs.
Oh, thank you. And I love you guys too. And I can't wait to meet you guys next month in person.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast, Amy. So I want to make sure that we talk about, before you get out of here, I want to make sure that we talk about your two organizations. Number one, your Iowa Women in Safety. How do they get in contact with you, or how do they get in contact with that organization?
So you can either find me on LinkedIn under Amy Rusa. You can connect to me there, or we have a Facebook page that is private called the Iowa Women in Safety. You don't have to be from Iowa to join it. You're more than welcome to join. And then for the Safety Rack, you can find me on Instagram at the Safety Rack or on YouTube at the Safety Rack. And hopefully soon I will be sharing content of the website on those channels.
When you get it up and running and you get going, you need to make sure you contact us so we can get you back on and we can highlight your channel, your program, and what you got going on, so that we can work together to make this cause even better when you get it back up and running.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, Amy, before you get out of here, we always like our guests to say who you are, who you work for, and that you are watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Can you do that for us?
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Rusa, CEO and founder of the Safety Rack, and you are watching BB.
Whoa. Distant cousin.
Hang on. So Quick
Retake.
story there. I was watching BBC with my grandpa this weekend. So,
Okay, try again.
take 2. Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Russa. I'm CEO and founder of the Safety Rack, and you are watching BCB Live, the safest
We love these things. That's what you know what? You can't beat live. You know what? Because you get to watch it all day. So BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
in the nation.
Thank you.
BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
Bam!
There you go.
Amy,
Well,
thank you
follow
so
them.
much for what you do.
We'll see you in July.
Thanks.
Hey, God bless. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Man, just a phenomenal day once again. Love her energy, love what she does,
Absolutely.
and her cause. You know what? I do mean that. You know what? When you find something that's missing, when you find an area in anything at your job, no matter what it is, if you find a solution, jump all in. She jumped in, Dave, and created an answer, a way to create success in our industry by having clothing that fits those women. Just one of the many things she does. Phenomenal. Amy, we love you. We're coming up next. You got Double Check Dale in the house. Drive safe, Dave, with a little weather. Next on BCB Live.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility Pro Wear. Utility Pro Wear manufactures high-quality, ANSI-certified, high-visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility Pro Wear affords the wearer durable clothing with a great fit to afford the highest degree of safety. Get your high-visibility apparel by going to utilityprowear.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount.
Welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Hey, got Double Check Dale here on this Wednesday morning. Heck, where's the week gone already? We're going to talk some weather, and we got some really nice weather going on. We are going to start with the winds right now, and I'm going to tell you what, today I don't see any major wind issues going across the country. They'll pick up a little bit right now. If you look out in central New Mexico and southwestern Texas, you're going to see some stronger winds there. We kick it into the middle of the day, and typically this is where we see, the stronger winds, the more robust colors, and they really don't get there. So, winds are there today, but the strong gusts are not projected to happen anywhere going across. That's this afternoon, and then into this evening, central New Mexico, the mountain range, you're going to see some stronger winds there. But again, nothing major going on the next 24 hours or so with the winds from the looks of it. We go over to rain and thunder. That's going to be a whole different story. Right now, there's quite a bit of storms and precipitation going on in parts of the country. This is current as of right now, and so if you are in northern Oklahoma, way northern part of the Texas Panhandle, southern Kansas, over into southwestern Missouri, lots of rain and thunderstorms going on up there. As you can see, some of them with lots of lightning, potential for some very strong winds in those thunderstorms, and maybe some tornadoes. So if you're in any of those areas right now, tune into a local weather station, see what's going on, and be abreast of that. Try not to drive into those heavy storms. As we go into this afternoon, the storms still hang around, still Oklahoma, still southern Kansas, into Missouri, but you're starting to see some rain develop through Arkansas, southern parts of Illinois, Indiana, up in the Ohio Valley. Florida is going to be wet this afternoon, as in parts of New York and Pennsylvania. Getting into the overnight hours or 7 o'clock, really the storms start to intensify, the system starts to expand. Still have it out in western Texas, the Panhandle, probably up around Vernon, Childress area in Texas. Most of eastern Oklahoma, a little bit north of Oklahoma City, Tulsa area could see some very strong storms, as could the area south of Kansas City, southern Missouri. And then southern Illinois this evening is going to see some stronger storms, and they hook all the way through Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York. As we get into those overnight hours, now this is 3 a.m., just south Oklahoma City, very strong storm system going there. Dallas, Fort Worth may be seeing some precipitation in the overnight hours. St. Louis, tomorrow morning, 3 a.m., looks like they could be seeing a strong storm, as is part of Indiana and Ohio. So very active storm systems going on through the central part of the United States, very wet. But overall, the winds aren't bad. Temperatures are going to be very moderate today. So overall, a very good day. Let's take a short break and come back and talk some safety.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility ProWear. Utility ProWear manufactures high quality, ANSI certified, high visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility ProWear gives you the added benefit of providing a barrier to liquids, dirt, and grime, keeping you cleaner longer, brighter longer, and therefore safer longer. Get your high visibility apparel by going to utilityproware.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount.
Welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. A little bit of weather coming up for us again, right? Some storms?
Yeah, there's potential for some storms, some rain, much needed rain. With that wind and the heat takes that moisture out of it in a hurry. But, nothing doesn't look like anything real major, just some pop-up ones, and those are always the most dangerous ones. They come up out of nowhere. So just have to be aware of your situation, be aware of where you're at and what's going on, where you're traveling to.
Yeah, so be sure, make sure, you know what? Talk a minute before we get into this, because there's so many different websites out there, and it's important that you use these as a driver out there on the road. The windy.coms, the weather station, whatever that is. Find a way, find your app, and Dale, they should get familiar with it as well, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. AccuWeather has a great one. Apple phone, all the phone systems, whether it's Android or Apple, both have great weather things. I like just punching in the cities that I'm in or that I'm familiar with or that I'm going to, and just take a look at what the forecast for those cities are, because that gives you a pretty good idea what's happening. Also, if there's any alerts or storm warnings going on in those, they'll be posted right there. So, just so many different ways to get, information about the weather. Stay aware of what's going on around you.
Yeah, and they basically show different things. The different apps do different things that some of them do like the forecast way out a lot better than, and some do the right now a lot better, great radars. I mean, it just depends on what you're looking at and what you're looking for. I suggest using several apps to find the great and detailed information that you need, whether it be for now, where you are, or where you're going to be in 500 miles from now.
There you go.
All right, what do we got going on today?
Hey, this week we're still talking about tailgating. And we talked about which states, write the most violations for it, inside the numbers, how many accidents are caused by tailgating. And then you just got to stop and ask yourself, why do we tailgate? And so we're going to give the top 3 reasons people give for tailgating, and I guarantee you all 3 of these reasons are 100% preventable. Hey, we're in a hurry, so I tailgate. We're impatient. We're going someplace and we probably left a little bit, so we get impatient, or the person ahead of us isn't driving the way we'd like them to. So, we tailgate. We think we can make them go faster. We think we can get them to move out of our way. And then, or a fit of rage. I mean, a lot of people have anxiety or a lot of stuff going on with them, and so they just get mad when that person doesn't do what they want them to do. We talk about in a hurry, impatient, fit of rage. All of those are preventable, 100% preventable. And if we don't prevent them, accidents happen, and rear-end accidents are some of the deadliest out there. So, just slow it down a little bit, back off, leave a little bit early. Hey, we're going to get there. The worst thing is we get there 5 minutes late, but at least we get there alive and nobody gets hurt. And that's really what it's about.
Yes, and you know what? When you're running late, too, and I want to talk about that for a minute, because as a driver, as anybody, when you wake up late, you feel rushed. And Dave, sometimes when you feel rushed, you feel like maybe you don't have time to do that pre-trip, right? You don't do the things that are required to be safe. And producer, I'm going to talk to you. Just last week you were late, right? And just go back this for a second. But when you were late, you woke up, you sent me a text on that. I mean, wasn't your day just a little off? Weren't you, I mean, you came into here and you had to jump on the computer.
Yeah.
You're in a rush, right?
Definitely. It was just, I was kind of out of whack for about the first 2-3 hours just because I, fell behind. Even though, I caught up pretty quick, but just that whole, waking up at a different time and getting here at a different time, it just kind of threw the whole day out of.
I think, as we talk about it, and it's interesting, did you find yourself driving a little faster?
Slightly.
Yeah, that's a great point. So when you woke up late, you came in here, you were going to be late. Did you drive fast? Did you probably not stop at those stop signs leaving the neighborhood because you were in that rush?
It's a high possibility.
Yeah, I mean, that's when we are late, that's where our minds go to and what we want to. And I don't know how you do that, Dave, because it's almost human nature, right? I mean, most of us, especially in this industry, we have such a strong work ethic that we take a lot of pride in being on time. That when we are late, we all of a sudden feel like we've got to make up time. And that leads to tailgating. Yeah. That leads to running stop signs. That leads to speeding.
So aggressive driving. Yeah. I mean, that's really where it all goes to.
100%. I mean, we can look back all the way in literature. I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. Well, what that means is that everything's put aside to be in a hurry. You don't take your normal allowances. I mean, if you're in a hurry, you don't pay attention to the people behind you. If you're walking in the hallway in a hurry, you don't normally, like you would, say hello. And if you're in a car, you're not going to follow the same rules, or you're going to make certain, I would say, allowances for your behavior behind the wheel if you tell yourself you're late. What you have to tell yourself is, I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah, great point on that. And it's funny, too. I caught something on that. You grew up with that rhyme or whatever that was. I'm late. I grew up with hi-ho, it's off to work I go. Because we were workers on our side of the family drive. We didn't have time to be late. Again, it's a different sayings. We grew up differently, Drive Safe Dave. You're on the other side of 360. I'm on this side, dude, where everything mattered. Dave, we got any videos we can go to?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure we do. Let's roll some videos.
First video we got is following distance, recognize, and correct.
And that's what I've been talking a lot about lately is taking a look at, first thing we have to do is recognize that we're following too close, and then we'd have to take those steps to correct it. Like I said, a lot of this in-cab coaching, talks to you, beeps at you, lets you know that it's going on. Helps you recognize that you're too close. And so you just have to back off that time.
But if I have to make up time right now, I got up a little late, aren't I gaining time right now? Aren't I making up time right now?
You're not picking any time up whatsoever on this right now. Following closer or quick lane changes saves no time whatsoever. Plus, probably stresses you out a little bit more, makes you more anxious, and so probably really works against you in the big picture. So just recognize it and then correct it. And if you're going to be late, call somebody, let them know. Have them reschedule it so you take some of that pressure off you where you feel, well, I got to be there. Yep. So you get it rescheduled. It'll all work out. It's better to arrive alive than not at all.
Like it.
Next video we got is the good wait for safe pass. Don't jump from one tailgate to another.
I like this. Like I said, we're actually tailgating a little bit here, the vehicle ahead of us. But how many times have we seen the timing to where we just quick jump out from one lane to the other? This one we don't. The driver does a very good job of staying back, waiting for the lane ahead of him to clear. So when he makes that lane change, he's out of that tailgate situation. So a little bit of good here, a little bit of bad here.
Yeah, we could be a little further behind, but again, let's celebrate what we see here, and that is, the lane changing before we gain on the vehicle in front of us. So great job in changing that lane. We could be another second and a half behind it. However, let's celebrate what we see here, and that, Dave, is making that lane change before we get up there closer to the tail.
I tell you, as I watched the video, I noticed that the driver really doesn't start to accelerate for the pass until they move into the other lane, which I like. That means you're not gaining on the vehicle, which is obviously running slower than you want to. So you're not. So by moving in here and then starting to accelerate, I do like the maneuver, in that you're further back than, you're more than a second away, but almost 2 full seconds back, but you're moving out of that driver. You got a really good picture of the big road, though. What I do like is the big picture is available to the driver and also accelerates once he's into the lane. So everything about this tells me driver's working on some good habits here.
This next video we got is I'm going slower than all the lanes except the one I'm in.
Yeah. You know, we talk about, you know, you can't have a rear end accident if you're going slower than the prevailing traffic, you know, and you'll notice all the other lanes are pulling away from him except the one that he's in. And that's what's causing the situation here. He's too close. We're probably about 7/10 of a second, you know, behind this vehicle, and so we're just too close. But overall, you look at it, traffic is pulling away, so he just either has to find himself a different lane or back off a little bit to create that space.
Next video we got is a lot's going down on a broke down vehicle, merge to close.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot going on. When you look at this vehicle, you got 4 lanes of traffic, you got a merge point. You had a vehicle that was broke down sitting, you know, right in that merge point area. So driver just has to back off, recognize what's going on, and get away from the chaos. Slow down a little bit sooner and create some more space for everybody to clear away from him.
The driver and the passenger guy, he kind of running a slalom course on the right lane.
He's like in the middle of no man's land.
Yeah,
he don't know what to do.
Yeah, he's instead of slowing for the broke down vehicle a little bit, which is always ideal, he tries the slalom maneuver and then does the slalom maneuver on the merging vehicle instead of allowing the merging vehicle in. So we've got a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe a gold medal maneuver here in the slalom course, but I do like that we're paying attention, and I thank you for sending in this video to identify some of the dangers that go around. And you know, sometimes you just got to move over, and if you can, move over another deal to allow all of this stuff going on. But I do like the video that you sent in.
Yeah, I would say this as well, though, is, you know, if we're, you know, for the driver that sent the video in and here, is that we want, you know, this car to our right here, he's just in some, he's in some weird situations in here. I'm going to say back off a little bit more, give yourself some space, because we don't know the move that's coming up next from him. We don't know if there's going to be an accident. And again, what we always want to do is make sure that we're in a position to prevent the accident from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this video, the couple things you know for sure, that black car has got to come over because his lane ends. And so what's the silver car doing? And the silver car is not doing a good job of communicating. No signals going on whatsoever, just kind of does, you know, that slalom move out there. And so you just have to be aware of the situation. But, you know, overall, good big picture, what's going on.
Last video we got is the one thing that keeps Dave up at night. It's his nightmare, and we got a stop sign's not a suggestion.
You know, we'll end the videos with this one, and again, just have to stop for it. You know, we don't have that opportunity when we roll a stop sign like that at 9 to 14 miles an hour. We are not getting a clear, good vision of what's going on all around us. It's just, you know, just have to stop. I mean,
and I'm going to go in this. My life, you know, you're seeing a new Sir Rick. My life has changed since I began a new focus on stopping at stop signs, stop lights. At 3 in the morning, at 3 in the afternoon, all stop signs are created equal.
That's right.
And you've got to respect them. Going through the neighborhood, I'm now making sure that I stop, and it's like a legit stop. I mean, I'm stopping, and I'm telling you, I have a new view on life from the stop. You know, when you stop, you have a view that you've never seen before. Join Sir Rick in this crusade for stopping at stop signs.
the trees are greener, the flowers are brighter,
I'm telling
but
you,
you're
it is
also seeing more
beautiful.
traffic and more what's going on around you.
You know, and as we watch these videos, I'll tell you that, and thanks for sending some of these in, you know, and as you look at that video, that's a bobtail, and the rules don't change when you're running bobtail. A lot of drivers feel that since they're not pulling a trailer, that the rules are more like they're back to the four-wheeler. That was a bobtail. Cut it a little shorter, and you know, you got to create these genuine habits, whether you're in your four-wheel, whether you're in your bobtail, or whether you're pulling a trailer. You've got to create the habits that you see all the way through every time you drive. And I'll tell you, it's really hard. I did, you know, for years I drove my four-wheeler way different than I drove my tractor, and it just, and you've got to create these habits. And Rick's talking about the success of
I'm telling you, so Dave, and again, you never tell the truth, so it's hard to see. But I mean, are you stopping for certain? Like right now, are you stopping at all stop signs?
Yes.
And it changed you? I'm serious. Has it changed your view?
You've
always done it.
No, I have not always done it.
Thank you.
No, I've not always done it. But and not only stop signs, but right turn on reds, I was very guilty.
No, that as well. I'm getting. I can work on it still. I caught myself today, Dave, early this morning, but I still stopped. I went and I didn't stop where I should have stopped, but I went ahead and I still stopped. You know,
exactly.
And I was across the crosswalk, but I still did it, and I was proud of myself. But Dave, I'm just saying is just stop at it. I'm telling you, it's life. It is the most craziest life-changing experience you'll ever have. Some people find Jesus. I'm telling you to find the stop in that stop sign.
I'm going to tell you to do both. I'm going to tell you to do both. I think you'll appreciate both of those. But and as we continue to talk about it, the stop sign is something you need to respect. All right, and because you want others to respect it out there on the road, you want to be treated the same way. And if you'll treat every stop sign correctly and respect the stop sign for what it is, you're going to stand a much better chance of being successful out there on the road and not getting into these wrecks. Now, you know what? And maybe you'll just be a little bit contagious, because if you're stopping behind the stop sign, guess what? Everybody behind you is stopping behind the stop sign.
So I thought, so today, I have these like new visions now all around stopping, which is just crazy, because I should have been doing it my whole life.
New visions.
You know, but just, new. So today I was coming in and I stopped at a red light.
Okay.
And there's not much difference in a red light and a stop sign. You don't slow roll a red light.
No.
And if you and so I thought about that today. I was like, I've got to treat the stop sign like a red light. You don't just just roll through it, and try to dash through the traffic or whatever. You don't do that.
No.
You stop at a red light, much like you need to do at a stop sign. I want to make sure that y'all continue your focus towards that. It's important that you do that. I'm going to tell you, if we as a country stop at stop signs, stop lights, and right turns, we do all of that, Dave, we're going to save lives. We're going to save accidents,
Absolutely.
Especially in intersections.
Absolutely. And in honor of that, on Friday, we will have a collection of, send them in, we'll have a collection of stop signs, and we'll see if we stop or don't stop. I'm wearing a stop sign on Friday. To
stop or not to stop? That is the question. Drive safe. Dave, take us to a prayer quick.
Hey, dear Heavenly Father, we gather before you today to ask for your grace in all things. Father, we ask that you protect us, watch over us, and help us be better at what we do and who we are. Father, help us to be nice, kind, and generous out there on the road or in our home or in our neighborhood. Help us to be better in every way. We ask all of these things in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And for those of you that are like myself, hi-ho, it's off to work we go. Be safe out there. Make it happen. If you're running late like Drive Safe Dave does, you know what? Slow it down still, and still you got to calm it down.
Don't be in a
Drive
hurry.
safe. Don't be in that hurry. Dispatchers, CSRs out there in this world. Listen, if that driver is running late, call your customer and tell them, and then let the driver know that you've already informed them that they're going to be an hour, 2, 30 minutes, 4 hours, whatever late that is. Let them know, and then pass that information on to the driver so they can slow down and get prepared for that. It's all communication. It's something we've all got to work on. It's about keeping the mindset of that driver safe on that highway. Y'all be safe. We'll see you tomorrow.